What's going on, YouTube? Claic Yuzolt back again with another Final Fantasy Brave Exvius 3-star Esper guide, and today we're talking about getting that big rock formation. The guy who definitely skips leg day, 3-star Esper Golem. Now, I thought this fight was going to be extremely strong and extremely hard, but then once I went to the dark side again, got the evade tank, went with a little bit of Veritas to the earth, since Golem does earth damage, Veritas to the earth eats earth damage. It was alright, but first I want to talk about the fight, and if you don't have the certain units I'm about to use, so you can at least understand, and then maybe, do things on your own. We have to complete the quest, obviously, no items, we can't use any items. Evoke Tetrasylphid, which is essentially the one that'll take down your earth resist. That's how they normally do it now. And then you have to do a party of 5 or less, which, I love that. But let me use my units now? Okay. Anyway, so, we're looking at this boss. It is stone type, so stone killers are going to be effective here. Golem himself has Stone Killer. Then I think you can acquire a Stone Killer another way in the game. HP is 80 million. That is a lot of HP. That's a very high HP total. A pretty high attack stat too. Defense 100, which isn't too bad. Magic 550. Spirit 25. So as soon as I see this, I definitely want to be getting there with magic damage dealers, because once we break the spirit, because as you can see here, attack and break spirit is vulnerable to that. He is immune to magic and defense break. But if we can do this magic 25, if we can get that in there, break it down even more, do damage, he's going to be taking so much. If we look at the elemental resist, he's going to absorb just like Veritas to the earth when it comes to earth damage. However, he is 100%, he's 100% decreased in wind resistance. So I'm thinking about magic. I'm thinking about, the wind damage. What are we going to use? That's right, Tornado Aeroja. Tornado Aeroja. It's Aeroja. Oh god, I almost said it wrong. Aeroja. Because Tornado can chain up to a high chain, and then Aeroja can finish itself. So we can take 2 units like that. That's going to be amazing. And when we look, you'll see that that's what I end up doing. Let's look at his abilities real quick. He doesn't really have that many abilities, to be honest. He's not that hard of a fight to understand. Trample. Physical damage 5 times to one enemy. Decrease defense and spirit 50% for 3 turns to one enemy. So he's going to smack an enemy for a lot and then take down their defense and spirit. Kick away, which just only happens towards the end of the fight. Physical damage 5 times to one enemy. Decrease attack and magic 50% for 3 turns to one enemy. So, it's essentially the same thing, only the attack and magic is being broken down. Now, this one you guys should be used to from the Octopus trial, Magnitude 8. It's earth magic damage, but it's a physical type attack with magic damage. 10 times to all enemies, cannot be evaded. Okay, guys, so this is going to be very important. It's going to do a lot of earth damage. But remember, Veritas the earth gives everybody 100% earth resist. We should be good, right? Well, let's go ahead and go down to Fragmental Rock. Earth magic damage 12 times to all enemies, so it's going to do the earth 12 times to all enemies. Decrease attack, defense, magic, spirit by 40% for 5 turns to all enemies. And then decrease your earth resist by 100% for 10 turns to all enemies, okay? And he casts this quite often. So it's going to immediately erase everything Veritas the earth did for us. So we're going to be using some Bushido Freedom, which is an ability you guys can acquire through, I do believe it was the Gilgamesh trial. Essentially, you target your team, hit it, Bushido Freedom on your team. It'll take away all of your status effects that are on you, negative or positive. And that way we can get rid of those nasty, I was not going to say AoE, but attack, defense, magic, and spirit breaks. And with the earth just being down, we can get rid of that too. His other ability he has is decrease physical and magical damage taken 100% for 1 turn. So when he casts Earthen Wall, which is essentially his evoke, you can't do any damage to him for that turn. But that's okay. Doesn't really matter. He has thresholds at 80, 60, 40%. Okay, guys? 80, 60, and then 40%. At 80%, I was going to say at the beginning of turn 1, but we'll get into that later. At 80%, he's going to cast Fragmental Rock, which is the one where he does the earth damage and takes down your earth resist by 100% and breaks all your stats. He's going to cast Trample 3 times, which is the physical damage to one enemy. 3 times that. And he's going to cast Earthen Wall, and then he's going to end his turn. So, essentially, we get into that threshold. He's just going to deal the earth damage, but we have 100% resist. He's going to deal it, and we're all just going to be resist, and nobody's going to take any damage. And he's going to lower our earth damage by 100%, and he's going to smack your physical tank 3 times with Trample. But, 100% evade. Veritas the earth doesn't give a shit about that. Moving on, at 40% threshold, so that's at 80 and 60. At 40% threshold, he casts Fragmental Rock again. He does Trample 4 times, and then he casts Earthen Wall, so it's not really that big of a deal. If we look at his other attacks, this is how the boss actually works in the fight. Phase when he's 100% to 40%. So at 40%, things get a little bit different. But until then, he just tramples you each turn. And each cast of Trample, each 5 casts of Trample, that's what he'll cast Magnitude 8. Now, I haven't really And then remaining actions are trample and normal attack. So literally he's just auto-attacking, trampling you, auto, trample, unless you hit a threshold, or you get up to the magnitude 8 uses. I do believe after 5 casts of trample means after 5 turns of casting trample, as I've counted 5 against me, and he did not cast magnitude 8. So that is just something to be aware of there. After you push past the 40% threshold, he will trample each turn. After 2 casts of trample, he'll use fragmental rock, meaning he will take down your earth resist, do mad AoE earth damage. After 5 casts of trample and fragmental rock, which it looks like it has to be both of those, uses magnitude 8. Remaining actions are kick away, which is the other physical damage that does the same thing that trample does, and we'll have the physical AoE, the physical provoke tank that has evade, it doesn't matter, and trample and normal attacks. So we don't care about any of that. The biggest things about that can mess you up in this fight, if you have a very tanky or physical evade tank that can just tank all this, and it's you have that earth resist up on everybody about 100%, is that he will cast, you don't want to push more than 1 threshold, especially with the strategy I'm going to use, because you need to be able to have provoke up and you need to be able to have that earth resist up. So if he takes it down and you have to Bushido Freedom yourself, you don't have provoke or the earth resist on anybody. So you don't want to be pushing 2 thresholds so the next turn he like does that big earth damage. You want to have that turn where he just does the trample auto attack, right? So you will provoke, you'll see in the fight, we'll get into it, but you'll provoke and then the next turn use earth resist, then push him. And finally, again, at that 39% to 0% HP threshold, I swear to God, guys, I think that stuff is just... It says there's some kind of rhyme or reason to it, but I've pushed him past from like 41% to 15%. He immediately cast Fragmental Rock, which he's supposed to because he went past the 40% threshold. But then after that, he immediately cast Fragmental Rock again and then Magnitude 8, which makes 0 sense with the way this says that it's supposed to work. So you may get unlucky. I don't know. Maybe I'm reading into it wrong, but I think a lot of this is a load of malarkey. And essentially, we're just going to get there and beat his ass. So we're going to move on over to the team, talk about that for a minute, and then show you guys how I beat Golem. All right, guys, so if you don't remember where to go to fight Golem, when you fought it before, because it has been a while, it's in Lanzelt, guys, and that's going to be on the Grand Shelled Island. Then you're going to go down here to Zadel Sutherlands, excuse me. It's going to be the new Trial of the Guardian. Again, you have to beat the 2-star to be able to unlock the 3-star, guys. So we're going to click on that. The quests are, again, complete the quest, no items, evoke Tetrasilphid, party of 5 or less, not that big of a deal. And then we're not taking a friend with us because I personally am using my own unit that it would be my friend unit in this case if you guys need it. So I do have it up as my friend unit right now. It's going to be Barbarisia. That's right. The Tornado Aeroja chaining. I keep almost saying it wrong, but I'm getting it, guys. Chaining goddess. That's right. And we're going to be using a new unit here in Lexa. Lexa is going to be very useful in a lot of trials to come. So guys, if you have, you guys, I think... most of you guys should have Lexa. I'm just saying, for the way you guys should have summoned on that banner, you guys should have Lexa. Another Tornado Aeroja chain, finisher, and also has a lot of good stats and looks really, really cool. We have our Veritas of the Earth again, going to be putting up our Earth Resist, resisting any kind of Earth damage and healing himself with it, absorbing it, and then also has the ability to, provoke, and 100% provoke. If we look at his equipment, again, guys, this is 100% evade. This is what I have to build 100% evade. This is not what is necessary. Look it up on the wiki. Figure out what you have to do yourself to get 100% evade. But this is how I have it right now because I just don't have all the other pieces to it. So this is how I build it. Ring of the Lucii, it stacks. That's 25%. If you have 2 of them, 50%, all right? Moving on, we have Rosa here. Rosa doesn't have anything equipped because she doesn't need anything equipped. I was doing other things. I should probably put all that equipment back on her. But essentially, nothing really there going for her. She's going to be there to, give us our HP back if we do after the Bushido Freedoms and give us our MP back, so we're going to need some of that. I have been testing Garnet here because Garnet can help you get the evoke gauge a little bit faster if you need to. And then also, it, more Esper damage when you actually summon Tetrasilphid because it's going to do a lot of damage. Next up, we have 9S. Again, not very much, equipment on him. He doesn't need it, guys, because they're not going to be taking damage. If they take damage, besides Bushido Freedom, they lose. I'm throwing Bushido Freedom on my 9S. He's going to be doing that. I have 9S here specifically for the Spirit Break. That's it. The Spirit Break and Bushido Freedom. This slot right here for you could just be whoever you want it to be that could Spirit Break for you, whatever amount, and has Bushido Freedom to be able to cast that, and you'll see that in a minute. Then we have our good old Lexa here. Again, just as much magic as I could slap on her. And make her powerful. She's a very, very good unit. I've been loving using her. I'm actually going to use her on the Carbuncle guide too. And then we have Barbarisia. This is how I built mine. Again, this is supposed to be your friend unit. You actually don't even, if you have double Lexa built up, you can just take double Lexa. You could try to take Shantoto, but again, the damage won't be as strong. And you'll run into the problem where she might not be able to survive the Bushido Freedom hit if you have it on a certain unit. So just be careful with that, all right, guys? So now we're going to go into the fight and take on the stupid big no leg day, skipping leg day Golem. All right, guys, so I'm going to go ahead and skip this. You guys can watch that if you want to. So, what do you do turn one? Turn one, he is going to do that that nasty big earth damage to everybody, and then also take down your earth resist, and then put up the earthen wall. So what we want to do is go ahead and cast earth resist on everyone. We don't have to worry about getting hit single target, so we're good with that. Next up, we're going to have Barbarisia cast dual black magic cast, Tornado Aeroja. We're going to get as much damage as we can in turn one. We don't want to push him past the 80% threshold, but if we do, whatever. And if you can get a high enough attack in here that you one-shot him, there is no reason why you can't take him from 100% to 0 if you're strong enough. We're going to go ahead and cast Bless here on everyone. And then 9S is going to cast his Spirit Break right here. So we just chain this up like so. And you'll see it does a lot of damage. And this is without Aeroja being stacked up. Aeroja stacks up the more you use it, does more damage. 85%, that's awesome. Fragmental Rock, Earthen Wall. So this would be the damage. This will be doing 12 times Earth damage to everybody. It's magic damage. So you can't AoE cover it with... You can AoE cover Magnitude 8, but you can't AoE cover that move. Or because you'll die. Because you'll die. Then we're going to go ahead and use Bushido Freedom. Guys, if you don't know how to target your own team, just go to one of your units and hold on top of it. I'm holding on top of Barbarisia. Hit target. Boom. Bushido Freedom has now been cast on your team. There you go. Rose is going to go ahead and put Bless back on because we have knocked off all of the status effects, status elements, status buffs, debuffs, things like that off of our team. Golem is resist right now to any kind of damage, whether it be physical or magical, because of Earthen Wall, but we still want to be stacking our Aeroja stacks, so that's what we're going to do there. And then we're going to go ahead and put a Provoke on because we're actually going to need it for the next turn. So here we go. Trample, 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 Trample. Okay, so he cast 5 tramples. That 6. Still hasn't cast Magnitude 8. So I'm assuming it's 5 turns. He has to cast Trample for 5 turns. But then when we get him lower, I swear to God, he just casts it whatever he wants to. We'll see. And also another thing I like about this, Veritas Earth, you know, if you got the Ring of the Lucii on him, get that counter going on. If you got black belt to spare, slap that on him. You could be building up your Esper gauge and your limit burst gauges if you need to. So now we really need to go ahead and throw back up our Earth Resist. This is because he's about to do that big move again, because we're going to be passing the 80% threshold. We're still going to go ham. I don't think we'll push past 60% here, but if we do, that's okay. Tornado Aeroja. I know I'm going to say it wrong like 8 times in this video, but I'm trying, guys. I really am. I've just always said it, Aeroja. Rose is going to go ahead and just cast Bless again. There's nothing really else for her to do. And then 9S could cast the Break again. Let me see. He's going to have... Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and cast the Break again. We have the MP. Why not? And we're going to go ahead and go like this. And we'll see how much damage we get him down to. I'm hoping it's like 61. 62. Hey! So now we're passing that threshold. So he's going to do the AoE magic, earth damage, 100% earth down, 100%, I mean 40% to attack, magic, defense, and spirit. And then he's going to put up his earthen wall, so we're not doing any damage here. That's all right. First thing you want to do, guys, is Bushido Freedom. Don't be putting on things on your team. Don't be casting other things, because then you'll forget, and then you'll end up wiping it with this. So make sure that you pay attention to that, because that can really mess you up. We're going to cast Bless here. Veritas Earth is going to cast Provoke. And then again, we're going to cast Aeroja twice, just to keep up the stacks on it, the consecutive uses, so it does a lot of damage. Now, I am going to push him past the 62% threshold, but what I want to do is go from 60% to below 60%, above 40%, and then push him as close to 40% as I can. So maybe I have hopes of either one-shotting him, or I get him really low and then kill him the next turn. You want to kill him as fast as possible after pushing past 40% threshold. Here we go. Give me them Esper orbs. We need them. We need the Esper orbs. Oh, okay. Let's put up our Earth Resist. Again, he's about to pass the threshold, so he's going to be doing that nasty Earth damage. So we're going to go ahead and dual black magic cast. I'm going to cast Aeroja twice. I do believe this is fine. We're not chain capping it. We shouldn't push him past 40% with this, but so sometimes things go wrong. We'll go ahead and do that now. We'll see how that works. Don't go past 40%. Nice, 46%. So we've passed the 60% threshold, got him to 46. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep trying to inch that a little bit closer as we're building up Esper Orbs as well. Rose is going to cast Bless again. There's no reason not to refill it just in case things go wrong. And we'll go again, if things go wrong, we'll go ahead and break the spirit again. We have the MP to do it. There's nothing else to be doing with these people. Fragmental Rock, and then Trample, Trample, Trample. That is from the 60% again threshold. And then Erdal Wall comes up. We can't do anything to him this turn. We are going to need a Bushido Freedom, though. So Bushido Freedom, targeting the beautiful Barbarisia. Boom! Rose is going to cast Blessing because now it's gone. So now she actually needs to cast it. And then we're just going to cast Aeroja to keep the stacks up. And we're going to taunt with Incinerating Press. So there we go. No damage. Earthen Wall, I wish it was that strong when we evoked it. That would be ridiculous. So here's this Trample. Again, if you have the 100% evade Veritas of the Dark, it's easy. If you don't, I figure this fight will be very tough. But again, you don't have to get these Espers immediately. They take forever to level up anyway. You know, take your time. Get the evade stuff ready. I do believe, I think it's called Madam's Manor is coming out. That's a bunch of quests similar to the Raven's quest that you can do to get good rewards. I do believe there's a recipe to make a hat that has evade on it, which would be pretty good there. All right, so we're going to go ahead and put up our Earth Resist. Now, we're not going to be pushing him past any thresholds this turn. At least I'm going to attempt not to. I'm going to cast one Aeroja here. I'm going to see how much damage it does. Let me see. Hopefully not too much. All right, there we go. And hopefully we don't do more than 4% with hers. Don't do more than 4%. And we got our Esper gauge. Hey, I'm feeling good about that. We'll go ahead and put Bless up, and then we're going to... You want to get as close to that's the good stuff. Man, that's like where the skill comes in. You got to try to inch it and luck. Okay, it's a little bit of skill, a lot of luck. All right, there goes the Magnitude 80. Finally cast it. I'm assuming that's after 5 turns. Maybe we push through thresholds there at 80% and 60%. So turn 7. That's finally the 5 turns that he had cast. So he cast it. Maybe that is how it works. Every cast counts as, you know, when it says cast, it means turn that he cast it. I don't know. Again, I would say that would be true because it looked like it just worked there, but when we get him past the percentage marks, he just starts going crazy. At least he did for me. All right, so on this turn, everything should be up. Do we have the... Oh, we might not have our Provoke up. Okay, so we can't cast our Esper just yet. That'll have to be next turn when we try to finish him off. So we'll go ahead and do Incinerating Press here. Spirit is broken, so we're going to go ahead and do it. Tornado or Aeroja. We're going to do as much damage as possible. So the next turn after... Well, essentially, we can't do it the next turn after this one. The next turn, we can do a damage because... Watch, I'll show you. So we'll go ahead and do this. Rosa will just cast... Oh, my God, the screen's shaking. My hands are shaking. And then we'll break the Spirit. Boom! 10%. All right, so the reason we can't kill him this turn is because he is casting Earthen Wall on us. So he's cast Earthen Wall, and he cast the move that makes us have a lower Earth Resist. So we're going to have to Bushido Freedom. We're going to have Veritas of the Earth Provoke. So Bushido Freedom is the first thing we're going to do. So just like we did before, we just passed another threshold. But this is the part right here, guys, where he can literally just screw you over, in my opinion. I mean, it happens. I don't know. I've had him pushed him like this before, and he just does the whole trample, auto attack, trample, auto attack, and it's fine. And then I've had other turns where he literally is like, Magnitude 8, use the crushing earth thing where he tilts the earth and goes nuts. So, I don't know. Sometimes things can be buggy, I guess, even if you do know the correct strategy to do it. So here we go. Incinerating Press to be able to take on those abilities. Aeroja just to keep up the stacks. And let's see. Kick away. That's fine. Kick away, Trample, that's the same thing. That's what we want to see. All right. So we're safe. So in most cases, I've tested this a few times, beat him a few times. I've only had him, like, go nuts on me for no reason, in my opinion, once. I beat it 3 other times without him going nuts on me. This will be the 4th time. So you should be safe, but, I mean, it's FFBE. Sometimes things go a little bit wrong. You never know. So we're going to go ahead and Veritas of the Earth, use... Oh, yeah, and just so you guys know, you want to put Tetris Silford on your Veritas of the Earth. It doesn't matter what his Earth Resist is down to. He absorbs it anyway. He's just going to absorb it all day, so put it on him so he can summon it, man. He's not going to have a problem with that at all. So Tornado Aeroja. If I can find it. There it is. Tornado Aeroja. And then we're just going to hit that, and then hit these buttons, and say, goodbye, Golem. You dead. You dead, Golem. You dead. Boop. He died before I think even the Aerojas went off. There you go, guys. He has no legs. He literally skips legs day, but that guy lifts all the time. You could tell. That's all the achievements. You guys will have Golem 3-star ready for you guys to start getting those super sites into him and taking forever to level him up. It does take a while. And I do believe we got all of the achievements. Let me make sure. We didn't use any items. We used 5 team of 5 or less. We evoked the Esper, so I think we end up getting them all, so we're good to go. So, if you guys like this video, give it a thumbs up, comment down below with what your team you're beating Golem with, and if you ended up going in there without the evil dark side evade 100%, then subscribe for future content. We'll catch you guys in the next video.